YouTube is happening. It's Friday, April 18th, and we're going to talk about the MLB. We have 15, I believe it's 15 games. Looks like everybody's playing on the slate today. It's Friday. That probably is everybody. We're going to break these games down like we always do every single game. We're going to look at the props. We're going to look at the stats and see if we can find some value. Little recap of yesterday because people love to see how yesterday went. It went pretty well. Edwards hit, Raleigh hit, Soderstrom hit, Sosa hit. They love Sosa. Aranda hits, Misner hit, the Nerfy hit, Rocker hit. They all hit. Everything was good. It was all green. Quan, 1 HRR. Bobby, 1 HRR. We were 2 HRRs away from a 10-0 sweep. And then the parlay didn't hit. So Tampa Bay, St. Louis, and Angels, none of them did well. But hey, the props were on point yesterday. So 8-2 day on the straights yesterday. We will take that. I would love that every day. If I had that, we're good forever. So if you want the plays typed out for every sport I do, or if you want access to the spreadsheets, you got to go to the HQ right there, sign up. You can have all that. So enough of that. We have the games. Let's stop wasting time. Let's go ahead and jump to that first game right now. Okay, so going forward, we're going to start doing this. I start looking at the games beforehand so we can kind of speed the video up a little bit because I don't need the video lasting over an hour. An hour is a long time. I try to keep these videos about 20 to 30 minutes long max. So we need to speed these up, and that's how I'm going to do it. I'm only going to show you the things that matter per game. So I've already looked at this one. First one is Arizona, Chicago. And this one's hilarious. Let me show you. It is, you see this 120 for Arizona, 11. 11's the total at Wrigley. You know what that means, right? It's windy. It's going to be windy out there. And how windy do you ask? Well, how about 23-mile-an-hour winds blowing straight out? Oh, buddy, and it's 80 degrees too. It's kind of warm in Chicago. That is going to be hilarious. That's why it's 11. So, man, let me show you the sheet. Let's go to the sheet. Let me look at the numbers. And then you have two potent offenses because they're both cooking right now when it comes to the offense. These numbers are last 10, 6 and third. On runs, 5 and 5.4. The whole season they're doing good. That you can see the offenses are amazing. Pitchers might have themselves a long day. I would hate to be a pitcher today, just saying in this game. Let's go to props because I've already looked it over. Who is actually pitching today? Because that's a question people want to know. Who is throwing the ball? Because who has the unlucky task? Well, if you look at this, you see is Corbin Burnes versus Colin Ray. Okay, cool. That's the pitcher. Let's go look at them closely. So on top of this, remember the weather. Remember the offense. Now we have Arizona's history versus Colin Ray. You see that? Cool. There's not much there. There's not much data here. Cool. Maybe a 400. Cool, right? Against righties, though. P. Smith, 422 with a 1.2. That's this season. Just this season alone. 358 for Corbin Carroll with a 1.2. And then Josh Naylor's 388 with a 1.2. That's three heavy hitters, right? You think, wow, those are crazy numbers. I got one more for you. I swap to the other side, and I go Chicago versus Corbin Burnes. Against Corbin Burnes, Dansby Swanson's batting 611 with 2 home runs and a 1.6 and 18 at-bats in his career. Dude loves facing this guy. And now against righties, you can see how Kelly has 455 with 4 homers and a 1.6, 316. There's just numbers everywhere, right? And so I got some of these pulled up. Here's Pavin Smith's bases. Let's see. We always look at HRR because it shows you everything on the screen. We love that. You see how he's doing. We got Josh Naylor. We can look at his HR. He's been cooking recently. We got Corbin Carroll. Been cooking recently. And then last we have Dansby, who obviously cooks against that pitcher who has not cooked recently. But talk about a slump buster. That's a slump buster for you right there. So with all that being said, everything, the thing, I have to take the over. The bats galore, you see the data, you see the numbers. If their pitchers come out and absolutely ball out, I pay congrats. I'll take the L, but I got to take the over of 11 and move on to the next game. All right, game 2 is going to be KC and Detroit, and we see currently it's 140 with a 7.5. I've already looked through this one. The wind is blowing in. Like let me show you. I got weather pulled up today because it matters today for a lot of games. The wind's blowing in 13 miles an hour. That's pretty strong for no home runs. While there's a lot of games that are going to have home runs today, this is going to be a home run day for sure, probably. Let's look at the spreadsheet. Offenses, anemic at best. Look at all the blood. Ugh, disgusting. 3 and 7, 6 and 4. Detroit's at least playing well with pitching. Nerfy. This is what you want to see for a Nerfy all day. Like, I probably will take like 5 plays in the first game. It's the only day game. I'm probably going to do a home run parlay here. Complete opposite. I can still take a couple plays, but it's going to be like the Nerfy, the under. Who's pitching today? That matters a lot. Let's go ahead and check on that for us. Is that the right one? No, that's the right one. What's this? Standings. Okay, cool. Let's go. Who's pitching? Who's throwing the ball? Is going to be Reagan's versus Job. Joe's pretty good. Reagan's ain't bad either. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Let's go to props, see what we got. I've already looked through these. Only one that stands out against lefties, Detroit's McKinstry's batting 429 this season against lefties, and a lot of it bats 368 for Baez. That's about it. Against Reagan's, not good though. Not good numbers overall, which is good for unders and good for nerfies. We go on the other side. Casey's never faced Joe, obviously. And then against righties, you can see the numbers have not been good. These numbers match up with the spreadsheet. They just ain't good. So yeah, nerfy for sure, under for sure. Let's look at like some props maybe. We want 2025 only. What have you done for us lately, Eddie? And we see over 17.5 outs. Not bad. Strikeouts. 10, 11, and 10. Reagan's is cooking. Detroit's, fun fact, if you look, they're 25th in strikeouts at 9.6. I could take this I would love to take this strikeout prop. 7.5 feels like nothing for this man right now. He is cooking on the strikeouts. Hits and earned runs, you can go, yeah, 1.5, of course. And it's favored because he's good right now. And then if you go over to Job's side, his 3 games, he went 3, 2, and 1. He shut out Minnesota pretty good. Strikeout wise, not the biggest of strikeouts. And then we got hits, walks, and his outs are going up too. So I have like a handful of plays I could take here. What do I want to take? Well, for this one, we're going to keep it a buck. We're going to keep it real simple. We're following the rules that we take. Anytime we can get green with a bunch of red, if this block is green and block 3 is red, that's a nerfy for me. And the pitchers are both great, which these pitchers look amazing right now. Nerfy all day. How much is the nerfy going to cost me? Don't tell me it's like minus 200. Give me a good price. Follow me to the price. Let's go. Let's go find it. Come with me. Game lines. Inning. First inning total. Under 130. I can deal with 130. That's a good number. So yeah, we're going to take that nerfy at 130. Like I said, I could take many plays. I could take the under in this one. I could take Reagan strikeouts. I could take all those and feel great. So, but for me on the sheet, I'm going nerfy, and we're gonna go next. All right, game 3 is gonna be Cleveland and Pittsburgh, and we got Cleveland at 135 with an 8.5 total. Let's look at who's we'll look at the weather first. Here's the weather we got going on in the game, and then let's go over and look. You can see 11 miles in, nothing crazy. So let's go to the spreadsheets. We can see the numbers. Pittsburgh still struggling offensively. Cleveland struggling kind of as well. So offense is not good. So the bats are going to be bad. And I've already looked at the batting numbers. They agree. So not the best out there today. Who's throwing the ball? Maybe we have something with the pitcher side. We have, is LL Cool J Ortiz versus Carmen Mlodzinski. Cool. Let's go look at the props. See if we have anything good. Mlodzinski versus Cleveland historically has done this. And that's a whole lot of nothing. That's all that is. Against righties, you can see how Cleveland's done this season. We have nothing. Nothing. We got a 3.33 and a 3.10. Rocchio and Quan. And Quan's kind of struggled in the last 3 games. He had no hits in the first 2, and then yesterday he went 1 for 4 or 1 for 5 or whatever it was. He's been struggling a little bit. So yeah, nobody's doing good on the OPS except for you, but you only have 3 bats. You don't count. So if we put the other side against LL Ortiz, who I believe he was on Pittsburgh last year, so he doesn't have much data against his former team. Against righties, you can see how Pittsburgh has done this season. Again, not good. That completely backs up our data here on the season. But recently, home, all of it makes sense. So yeah, numbers are not good. Not good at all. So let's go to props, see if we have anything pitching wise that we could possibly look at. So we have outs here. We have strikeouts. Both teams are in the top. Cleveland's 9th, Pittsburgh 16th in strikeouts. That's going to be a no. We got our hits. We got our earned runs. We got our walks. Nothing there, obviously. We go to Carmen. Earned runs, strikeouts, hits, walks, outs. Nothing for us. And then lastly, let's go check out the actual bats for everyone to see if anyone pops up. And we have Carlos Santana to get a hit. And it's minus 200. If you want to take that by all means, I ain't touching that. So we looked at everything and we come up with the idea that there's nothing here worth value. So we're going to pass and move on to the next one. All right, game 4 is going to be Miami and Philly. And we can see Philly 210 at home with a 7.5 total. Let's look at who. Now let's do the weather first because we want to make sure the weather's looking good. For this everybody today. Out at 13. There we go. There's potential them deep flies. I have warning trap power. They have a little bit of a chance to actually reach the stands today. So that's good stuff. Let's look at the spreadsheet so we can see who's got. Yeah, numbers wise, you see Miami's been cooking recently with the bats. It's just They're 4-6 because the pitching isn't doing too well, and they're 4-6 because, well, the bats suck, and then the pitching are keeping them from not being even worse. So that's a great little matchup we have going on. Who is throwing the ball today? Let's look. For Miami is going to be old Sandy versus Zach Wheeler. That's a nice matchup. Cool. Let's go look at the props. All right, so Philly versus righties this season. That's where we're at. Philly versus the rights. And we can see 262, bunch of red. 514 at bats is actually impressive for Sosa. That's 7 for 14, but 6 RBIs, 1.13 is pretty good. Scott, 349. That's about all we have. But if we go against Sandy, they do pretty well. 300 in the career, 346, 308, 500, 361, 263. Pretty good against Sandy, I'd say. We flop to the other side. We go to Miami. It would go against righties. We can see the only one doing good is Xavier, because he's 3 for 3 on HRR. I've taken him 3 days in a row, and he's come through for me. So I might take him again just because he does so well. Other of that, I would probably take somebody else. Let's see. He's 0 for 3 against Wheeler, though. Maybe not the best. Not the good stats against Wheeler we want to see. So we see Philly clearly has a historical advantage against Sandy. Xavier does pretty good against Wheeler. That's not enough for me to really want to jump on either side. We already saw the spreadsheet with the numbers where they're at currently. And then we come over here and we'll look at the pitchers a little closer. Strikeouts, hits. He's gave up a lot of hits last 2 games. Wow. Earned runs, walks, and then outs. Yeah, he's been a little over the place. Earned runs, he gave up 5 and 4. Atlanta and St. Louis, huh? Let's go over here and look at Sandy. Sandy's earned runs this year: 3 strikeouts, hits, walks, outs. His outs are slowly going up too, but I'm not inspired to take either one of these two. I tell what's telling me is look at the bats. And we look at the bats, and we come over and we come down to the Marlins Phillies game, and we see a lot of green. Xavier, look at that, 100%, 90%. Dude's cooking. I feel like what's his odd now? It's 105. He's had good odds every day. He's hit it every day. I mean, he's a singles merchant. We know this. He's going to pop a single, but hey, as long as he gets on base, maybe somebody else can get him in. That's the whole thing I want. But no, he's just been getting double singles every game. So I'll take it. Not complaining. So Griffin Conan. Okay, that's cool. Let's look at Xavier. Gotta look at the man himself. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, he had a 4 yesterday. But I think if you take this, it's going to be about the only thing I could take, because, man, what else are they going to do? Wheeler has been kind of rough on getting to hits, too. So he can get on base and somebody get him in. That might be the move. So I think I'm going 4 days in a row. Going for him again. Xavier Edwards, HRR. We're taking it next. Our next up is Cincinnati and Baltimore. And we can see it is Baltimore 150 on the money line with a 9 total. Let's look over at ye old. Well, always got to do it apparently today. Every game, we got to look at the weather. And we can see 17 out for Baltimore and Cincy. That's a fun one. All right, cool. So looks like the spreadsheet, how the teams are doing. Both offenses are kind of both good at runs, though, but the numbers there just don't look the great. Hits, both tied at 26, are about the same. So we're going to rely on historical data more likely than anything. Let's look at who's throwing the ball today. Throwing is pitching. There we go. Pitching is going to be Andrew Abbott versus Kate Upovich. Let's go to props, break them down a little bit. Abbott versus Baltimore. That's 600, 2, 3, 5, 6. Not much data there against lefties. You see how Baltimore's done this year. 357 for Mountcastle, 500, 333, 231, 300. Some decent numbers, nothing too terrible. I mean, you got like Gunners go bat a buck 083 against lefties in 12 at bats. Dude, what are you doing? Get better. Adley's only batting a buck 88. Like, come on, guys. And then if you go flop to the other side, we go Cincy against lefties. Cincy's miserable against lefties. Outside of Fraley, who's 1 for 2, it is just disgusting. Steers, you can't see Steer. 0 for 1, 0.83, 0.143, 0 for 143, 192, 071, 0111. There's a 250, there's a 286, and a 278. Cincy is trash against lefties this year so far. Now, it's not many at bats, I get it, but damn, they're not good. Against Povich, there's no data. So I'm leaning Baltimore already, but I'm also leaning the win matters a lot. I mean, you still got to hit the ball, but still, let's look at the numbers. Let's see. Those are strikeouts. Cincinnati is 23rd in strikeouts, but now there's better plays today than strikeouts in this game. If anything, it's going to be probably just take Baltimore money line is what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling in this one. So we look at strikeouts, hits, earned runs, walks, outs. Yeah, that, or we could just take both teams are scoring runs. They're averaging 8.9 combined in the last 10 games. Even though they're not doing well offensively, you can see the numbers aren't good, but their runs are good, which is what matters. Home runs, ninth versus 26. It is currently sitting at 9 with the wind blowing out like that. That's right where they're at. Now they get the wind assist today. We got 2 pitchers that are kind of but the teams suck against lefties. My God. So I think I'm just going to straight up take. Part of me wants to pass on it, but part of me just wants to say Baltimore at home because of how they've done historically versus. So we're going to take Baltimore in money line. I don't think there's any. We'll look one more time at the bats just to make sure we didn't miss anything, but I don't think I did. Yeah, nope. Friedel did good yesterday. He did good yesterday. Let's look at him real quick. We might take him too. What's your history? 268. Like this season against lefties, you're actually one of the few guys batting decently against lefties with 5 hits, 4 runs. Okay. You've never faced the other guy, obviously. You know what? I lean Baltimore, but I kind of want to go Friedel now, just because of that. So let's go. You know what? Let's do it. Let's go FRIED Friedel over 1.5 HR. I love props today. Props are great. With the wind blowing out, give me the props. I will probably have a home run parlay, maybe a couple. So it's Friday, baby. The weekend's here. It's time to have a little bit of fun. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take old TJ here. I would also lean Baltimore money line, but I think TJ will do a little bit of work while everybody else struggles. So we'll take him. Actually, why do we want to take HR? Just him? How many total bases? What's your HR looking at? Plus 105. Home run, 1,200. Maybe. I'll take HR. We'll leave it alone. HR next. All right, Yankees and Rays. We're currently sitting on a pick'em essentially with that 8.5 total. Let's look over and see. Well, hell, let's look at the weather. I know you want to see it. It's blowing in at 8. So we're not doing weather every day. Just days there are weather. Like today is considerable for a lot of teams. So we will show that for everybody. Spreadsheet. And we look at the spreadsheet. We see, again, Tampa's offense is doing great, but their pitching is letting them down. Taj looked like Taj Gibson out there trying to throw a ball. It just didn't look good yesterday. Like, just not good at all. So, man, Taj Bradley, come on, dude. Like, I need you to do better. You're playing like the end of season Taj, not the beginning of season Taj. You got direct. And then the Yankees are just very average. All the yellow means average. So let's look at who's throwing the ball today. Today we got Rodon versus Rasmussen. Okay, let's look at the props. I've already dug through these a little bit. Rays versus lefties. We have a couple 400s out here this season, Magnum and Calabaro. And then we got some other numbers there. You can see some just absolutely suck against lefties. Against Rodon, we have Diaz with a 364 with a home run and a 1, and Lau with a 250 but only 8 at bats. So, but some people just suck. So half your line's gonna be neutralized immediately because of just history and how you've been doing lately. And we go to the other side. We go to Yankees versus Rasmussen versus the Yanks. Nothing at all. Judge is 1 for 7. That's the only hit they have. And then you have the righties. They have some success. Grisham, 389. Jason, 353, 333, 395 for Rice. Got some good numbers overall. Oh, and then Judge, 360. I forgot it was red, so it looked different. So, yeah, I'm not taking the bats. Even though the bats looking good, man, the pitching is what really gets me here. So let's look. We got earned runs, strikeouts. Both teams are average on strikeouts, so no. Let's see, outs, walks, nothing is screaming. And this one, like, okay, earned runs in 5 stars. Yeah, he's looked good, but this is his 3 stars. How many innings are you actually pitching? Well, you are pitching pretty damn well. Okay, good sir. I was not familiar with your game. Like, okay. Hits 2, 3, 4. Who was that? It was Pittsburgh, Texas, and Atlanta. Not the scariest lineups, but hey, I get you. Still pretty good. I see why to pick them. It's a good matchup. I'll show you the bats too real quick, just so make sure you hit every base here. Haha, pun, baseball. But you can see if you want to take any of these, by all means. Judge walks is only 180 for 1 walk. That's kind of crazy. Usually that's like 300 or 250. So yeah, if you want to take any of these, by all means. I'm passing. Next. All right, next we got Seattle and Toronto. It is basically a pick 'em with an 8 total again. So let's look over at the actual weather's in a dome. It's at Toronto, so you don't have to worry about that. So we can go straight up to the schedule, see who's throwing the ball. It's Brian Wu versus Bowden Francis. Let's look at the spreadsheet. We see the numbers pretty good overall for both teams hitting. Nerfy team all day. Runs, not as much runs. You can see the records, how they're doing. Strikeouts, number 2. That's the big thing here because you know why? A lot of people are going to take Wu strikeouts today. I already know you are. Like, let me show you Wu strikeouts. It's 4.5. I'm like, what? You see what he's done? You see Toronto's only striking out 6.2 per game last 10, 6.6 on the season at home. It's just Toronto's very disciplined right now to play, which is unusual for them. But hey, if you want to take that, be cautious. Not a bad play. It's just not a great play for me, so I wouldn't. So Bowden versus Seattle, no data there. Seattle versus righties. You want to see? There you go. We got 1-300, 2-300. That's it. Nothing else. A lot of twos from there. Some ones. We swapped the other side against righties. Toronto 1, 2, 3, 4 300s, and then against Woo, but not good. So Woo's pretty good. We know that. So. Now, do we want to take Woo strikeouts at 4.5? It would be a sweat, I believe, because Toronto has been pretty good. But have they faced somebody that likes the Woo in the last? I mean, yeah, 2025. That's his numbers 5, 6, 7. He's on pace. Do we take Woo to get 6 strikeouts? I don't want to sweat that much. I feel like I want to pass on that just because the number Toronto's been so good. 6.2 in the last 10 tells us that's like 1 every inning and a half. That's not good. So. Now, Woo could have 5 strikeouts in 2 innings. Absolutely could. And there's a reason why it's only 4.5 when he's done this recently. That should tell you a lot right there. So let's go to bats. Anything good for us? Oh, man. Oh, Polanco again. Polanco did good for us. He hit yesterday. Cal Raleigh got his hit yesterday, thankfully. It was a long one when he hit it, too. So, man, I don't like any of this. So for me, nothing in this game is screaming, just take this straight value. So I'm going to pass and move on to the next game. All right. We have St. Louis and the Mets up now. We can currently see it is 170 for New York with that 8 total. Let's look at the, weather, because it matters in this one too, because look, 20 out. That is crazy. That's almost as bad as, what was it? Arizona Cubs. That's more towards center out. That's more left center. But this one is straight up just, that was Baltimore. Where's it at? There it is. A lot of wind day. Love that. A lot of outs. So, and let's go to the spreadsheet and look at the numbers. And then we can see, oh, look. Anybody want to take a Nerfy with the wind blowing like that? If it was not so windy, I would be all over that Nerfy. Probably, but I'm scared. One deep fly ball is gone today. That's how it works today. So when the wind's blowing out like that, if you can probably get a nice high fly pop up, it could carry. It could carry nicely. So let's look at who's throwing the ball. It's going to be Mikolas and David Peterson. Okay, let's look at them two closer, shall we? St. Louis versus lefties. This is 353, 350, and then there's a 429, but not many at bats. Mainly these two are the main ones, Nolan and Baker. So you see the numbers there. Against David Peterson, historically, Contreras is 1 for 8. That doesn't help us at all. We go against the righties, and we see New York versus righties. We see the numbers. We see the data. I don't see anything good. I see 1.302. Everything else is below 302, except for the 333. I didn't see Polar Bear. It's in red. It confused me. Polar Bear, I'm sorry, sir. 5 home runs, 56 bats, 1.15. Soto, where are you at, bro? $1.75, Soto? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're getting paid so much money to do that? Ugh. So, and then again, history against Mikolas. Lindor's 412, 375 for Winkler, 300 for 389 for Soto. Polar Bear 167. So there is some potential there, but I don't. Not a chance with the wind. I just can't today. I can't do it. Here's your outs. Here's your strikeouts. Both teams are top 10 in strikeouts. Not a chance I'm taking strikeouts today. Earned runs, walks, nothing. We pop over to Peterson. Earned runs, strikeouts, hits, walks, outs. Ooh, EV play. Ooh, yeah, no, none of that. Bats, let's see the bats. Over half. Hits for you? No. Now, we got 2 average pitchers and we got 2 average offenses with the wind blowing out. I still lean the Nervy, but that would be sweaty. It'll be so sweaty. I'm not trying to sweat that much. So, 8? 8? Can we get to 8's the question. Can we get to 8? I don't know if we can. Let's see, earned runs. Yeah, he gave up 8 himself 2 games ago. If anything, I think New York crushes a little bit more because Peterson's better. I think Peterson's much better. Yeah, 1 and 2. So I think I'm going to take the Mets at home, 170. And I feel like that's a good play. Mikolas might get crushed today. That's just what my thoughts are. That's where my gut's going. New York has more history, more advantages, and they're at home. Yeah, give me the Mets money line next. All right, next up we got Chicago versus Boston. White Sox, Red Sox, Grippy Sox, Lakers in 5. We see it's Boston 203. 9.5 is our total. Let's look over at the actual, Let's look at this. Who's throwing the ball first? Who's throwing? That's what screen I'm on. Chicago. It is Perez versus Hunter Dobbins. Okay, that's a fun one. And let's go to the weather, shall we? Today's weather in Boston is going to be breezy. 11 blowing out. Not as impressive as 20 and 23, but hey, it's 60 degrees. A little, maybe some rain. You know, cool. Spreadsheet. Let's look at the numbers. Look at all the red. Look at the red. It was all red. Man, I sung, what was it? It was all yellow yesterday. I need to start playing Chevelle the red. Play that for this game. My goodness, so much red. Let's go ahead and pull up Perez and Hunter Dobbins, who has a nothing for us. That's going to be helpful. Very helpful. Let's see. Hunter Dobbins versus nobody. Against righties, the White Sox are 2-6-1. Oh, nope. 3-10. Hey, Benintendi. And where's Sosa? Sosa came through yesterday. Yeah, it was nice. He hit the HR for us. Good stuff. Good buddy. 310 for Benintendi, 294 for Taylor. That's not much there. Let's be honest. Let's keep it a buck. Over to Boston against lefties. Casas is 714, but it's only 7 at-bats. 571, 7 at-bats. 417, 12 at-bats. Everybody else is kind of just like, stop throwing lefties at us. We suck. So against Perez, you can see how they've done. Anything stand out? A couple 400s. There's a 500, but not much at-bats. I mean, I lean Boston just off the get, but I don't like the fact that I don't know anything about this dude's pitching. He's pitched 1 game so far in 2025. He has 5 strikeouts. How many innings he pitched? 5 innings, 5 strikeouts. He gave up 8 hits to St. Louis, who, I mean, St. Louis did lead the league in hits last week. Earned runs, walks, outs. I need more than 1 data point. I need more than that. Martin Perez has data points. We can look at his walks. He kind of likes to walk dudes. He had 4 last time. We just need 1.5 walks at 195. That is pricey. Strikeouts against Boston, 4.5. No. I need some consistency because this dude, no. Well, he faced Boston his literally last time out. So he's facing Boston again, which isn't good for him. That's good for Boston. So, all right. Earned runs. You gave up 2 earned runs. How many outs did you go? 14? Yeah. Let's go to the bats. I think maybe there was a bat. Nope. Ain't a single bat looks good. All right. Well, you know what that means. Nothing standing out. I lean Boston money line, but I'm not paying 200 on the money line for a game where you got your 2 teams over here just looking like Kool-Aid Man busting through a brick building over here going, oh yeah. Nope. That's too much red for me. Next. All right, Minnesota and the ATL. And we can see it's currently Atlanta 134 with an 8.5 total. Let's go look at some weather, shall we? 8 miles an hour blowing inward. That doesn't help us at all. And then we got a bunch of domes coming up after that. Who is going? Let's do spreadsheets first. Let's see the numbers. A lot of yellow, a little bit of green. Red runs are good. You're good at Nerfies. Man, how are you both 4 and 6? That's just, man, crazy. Who's throwing the ball today? That matters to me more. And that today is going to be Chris Paddock versus Bryce Elder. So let's go look at the pair props and see what we have. ATL versus righties. You can see how they've done this season. We got some 300s. We got some 2s. Everybody's doing decent. Against Paddock, we got a lot of just like 1 for 2, 2 for 4s. Nothing truly stands out here. Against Minnesota, and we got a lot of 0s against Elder. Minnesota has struggled against Elder in it was like 1 game he faced them. Against righties, you can see how Minnesota's done this year. Bader's 324, and that's about it. Besides the 300 for Jeffers. So right now we see Atlanta already has a pitching advantage. They have a little slight advantage when it comes to the bats, but they're Elder owning them in that 1 game is pretty good overall is the main thing I like. And the fact that Minnesota's kind of struggling offensively a little bit. And when I say a little bit, I mean they're batting a $191 on the road. That's the main thing. Last 10, 232, but 191 on the road this season ain't good. Only getting 2.9 runs, that ain't good either. So yeah, let's go to props. Let's go back to the bats. Let's go pitchers. Earned runs. You can see what he's done. Let's see. Strikeouts. Atlanta is 28th in strikeouts. We could look at Paddock strikeouts. We could. No. Hits, walks, outs. Nah, none of that. And we pop and look at Paddock. Earned runs. Damn. 9? You gave up 9 to the White. You were the one to give 9 to the White Sox? Bruh. And then 3 to Houston and 1 to Detroit. Man, strikeouts. No, you're not a strikeout. How do you go a game with no strikeouts? You should be, for shame on you, good sir. For shame. Could never do such things. Yeah, no, this game is kind of garbage. I lean Atlanta, but I'm not putting money on Atlanta. You crazy? No, I got so many other plays I could take in this today. I'm not chasing plays. No, we're passing. We're moving on next. All right, next up, Doyas and Texas. And we're currently sitting on LA at 140 with an 8 total. Let's look over at the schedule. Who is throwing the ball? Yamamoto versus DeGrom. That is a nice little matchup we have there. Let's go up to the spreadsheets. No weather to worry about because Texas is a dome, so good there. And we look at the numbers. 14-6, 12-7, 5-5 for both teams in the last 5 or last 10 runs. Dodgers are averaging 1.5 runs in the first inning in the last 10 games. Definitely not a nerfy team. Yerfy, if anything. So you see the rest of the numbers. Both have really high batting averages. Cool. Let's go to props. Let's look at the pitchers a little closer, shall we? This is the group. No, this is Yamamoto. This is Texas versus righties. You see how they've done 367, 419, 364. We got some heavy hitters out here. And look at Peterson, 061, bruh. What the hell? That's so bad. Against Yamamoto, there's literally nothing. There's a 4 for 6 and a 0 for 3, but nothing happened there. We flopped to the Dodgers against DeGrom. He's done pretty good historically. But this season, the Dodgers are doing this. They love them a righty this year. 419, 429. There's some ones in there. There's a lot of ones. There's a 306. So we got Freeman, Smith, and then the rest is kind of just Edmonds the 300. Okay, yeah, man. All right, so we got some hits that could potentially happen. So let's look at their stuff and see if anything stands out. Yamamoto has been absolutely on fire his last 2 starts. No one runs the last 2 times. Strikeouts, you can see what he's done. 10, 5, 9. Texas is 13th in strikeouts, averaging 8 a game, and only 6.4 at home. So that's going to be a no for me, dog. Not a chance. And you see those numbers, we see the walks, and we see the outs, and you could just go for him probably to get the outs. I see him going 6 innings, shouldn't be a problem, but he hasn't done it much. That was last season. This season, he started with 5, now he's at the 6. He could, as long as he don't get roughed up, I can see him going 6. Let's go over here to the Glum. Earned runs in his last 2 against Tampa, and 4 and 3. Strikeouts, no. Hits, walks, outs. Ugh, man. This is hard. Now we go to bats. We see, well, haven't had the right game, but for bats, Dodgers, Rangers, show me the bats. Not much looks good. Maybe Berger to get a hit, Sager to over HR, but that is about that. Against Yamamoto, I don't think so. No, not a chance. I can't do that. I can't. No, there's too much good here. I just can't. All right. I don't like any of the props against pitchers. I don't like the pitcher props against the bats because you see the bats have some success. So I'm not taking a nerfy. I don't like a side even. So yeah, again, another pass. I know, weird. Next. All right, next up we got San Diego at Houston, and we can see where'd it go? Right there. Houston 138 with a 9 total. Let's look at who's going to be pitching. And this one's Kyle Hart versus Ryan Augusto, and they're also in it. I believe they are in a dome, so they're in Houston. Yep, no worries there. So let's go to the spreadsheet, look at the numbers, and we see Houston Nerfies, both teams top 9 in runs. San Diego's offense is crushing when it comes to numbers. They are just mid to below average. So both teams don't strike out, so we ain't looking at strikeout props. Pretty straightforward stuff. Let's go dig a little deeper into pitchers. Kyle Hart versus Houston, nothing. Houston versus lefties. They haven't faced lefties. We're literally 18 games in the season. This is how many total at bats they had against lefties. That ain't much, and they are been miserable against lefties. So that actually benefits San Diego because you haven't seen lefties much because the highest one is 10 all season. That ain't good. That ain't good at all. Now you're facing a lefty starter. Ooh, and everybody's just 0 for 0 for 5, 0 for 4, 0 for 5. Oh, man. Then we flopped to the other side. San Diego versus righties. And we know San Diego likes their righties from last season. 341, 343, 400, 404 for Tatis. Tatis is crushing right now. Look at Tatis. My God. Yeah, and then against Gusto, nothing there as well. So no data against the pitchers. I can show you the stuff, but I'm not taking somebody who doesn't have any data. Not you or you. Sorry, just not enough data. Let's go to bats. Tatis is Machado's a good play. Tatis was crushing. You saw what was Machado's numbers? Let's go back to the numbers. Machado, let's look. Machado versus righties is 341 this season. That's not bad, and he's never faced Gusto. So yeah, 341. While we got some other 400s, yeah, I could take Machado for sure. We could take that. Actually, I could just take San Diego's money line. I mean, come on. I think the fact that Houston's never faced, has very rarely faced lefties, is going to be a problem for him today. So let's just do that. Let's do that. You could take Machado to do well. You could take Tatis, which is down here to get an RBI or hell, a home run or whatever. Maybe a home run. Let's see. Oh, no wonder he's not there. Tatis is 2.5 HR. All right, I see you. Yeah, because normally he'd be a 1.5, but you even give me a line for 1.5, you bastards. 2.9 on a 2.5 is ridiculous. That's not good. But for Machado, whew, look at the numbers. The numbers, Mason. This is what they mean. All right, what's this going to take Machado? Machado. 1.5, taking it. Yeah, we're going to rock with this and just see how that goes. We'll see what that takes us next. All right, A's and Brewers. We'll do this real quick. Should be a fast one. Brewers 145. 8 is our total. Let's look at the schedule, shall we? Who's throwing the ball is going to be JT again versus Fede Peralta. Cool. We pop over to weather real quick, and we see this is Milwaukee. We know it's a dome, but let me just show you so you know. There you go. And then we go to spreadsheet. We look at everything. The A's have been cooking offensively. You know this because they're on a 3-game winning streak. 1 versus 5 on runs. Okay. And we're sitting on an 8 total. I love an 8 total because, hey, 4-4, that's a win, baby. 4-4. You got to score another point. Someone's got to score a run. So I love that. Let's look at let's go dig into the pitchers a little bit, shall we? Peralta versus the A's versus righties this season. Some of you are doing great. Soderstrom has league leading 9 home runs now. That's 8. So, but he has 9 now. He leads the majors. 316. The A's are just doing good. If you have an A's playoff ticket, you might want to. Hell, I might need to invest in one. Just put a percent on that one just to see what happens. Them, the Angels. Hell, who else could we put on there? I mean, there's a few like wow, look at them go. So, and it'd be cool to root for the A's. They need it. So. Peralta, there's no data there, so the A's got some history against JT again. Milwaukee has very little history with a bunch of nothing. And against righties this season, we got Terang, and then that's it, basically. That's just it. So the A's have the better bats. Oh, really? Let's look at the numbers. Peralta does allow a lot of walks. Strikeouts. I might have to take the hot team. That's just my thing. I might have to go with a hot hand. I'm taking the A's 3 days in a row on the main line. And I'm a 3-0 as you saw. So I might have to rock with that. JT, how you doing, buddy? Tell me you don't suck. 1, 2, and well, 2 and well, okay, 1. Man, okay. You faced the Mets, get 1 earned run. You struck out 6. You only gave up 5 hits. You had 2 walks. I'm okay with that. In 16 outs, yeah. Show me the bats. We'll scroll up, change this to A's versus Brewers. Yes. Contreras is a hit in 10 for 10 games, huh? Look at the juice on them bad boys. Ooh, pricey. Butler is starting to do his thing again, like from last season, where he get a hit every game. Soderstrom, obviously, you get a run when you hit the ball really, really far. So, yeah, a lot of A's on here. A lot of Brewers on here, too. So, I think I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. We're going to go over 8. I love the over 8, but I also like the A's money line in this one. To the point, I might put them in my parlay. They're plus 134, but I might still do it just because why not, right? I might have like an underdog money line parlay today too. So we'll see what happens. But over 8 is going to be the official play in this one. Next. All right, next we got Washington at Colorado. And ooh, buddy, I'm ready for this one. 134 Washington with 8.5 total. Let me look at the weather first. Let me show the weather. It is 9 so and it was gonna be storming. It's 30 degrees. If they even have the game, my goodness. Oh man, that is concerning right there. That is crazy. Okay. Well, let's go to who's throwing the ball today. Let's see. It's going to be Mackenzie Gore and Chase Dollander. Okay. Gore, if they don't get rained out in the middle of it or snowed out potentially, we could have a snow game. Who knows what's going to happen here? 7-12. You see the numbers. The main stat I'm looking at, you already know, is going to be this line right here. Strikeouts. 1v30. Washington is number 1 in the nation league striking outs. Colorado will swing and miss at everything. So, and they're going up against Gore, who is pretty good at strikeouts. I do believe, good sir. Let's see, Dollander, nothing. Against Washington, nothing. Against Washington versus righties, not the best. We got some 3s and 4s, a little bit 2s, not the best. We flop slides to Colorado against Gore, not much data. Strikeout rate 60%, 100%. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Against lefties, how's Colorado done? Doyle's good this season, 455. Farmer's good, 6 for that. 316 with 2 home runs for Goodman. Everyone else, nah. So yeah, Mackenzie Gore strikeouts is 6.5. I took this the last 2 times, I believe. I think I've taken it every time this season. It might be. I know I missed this one, and I think I got those 2. So Yeah, he gives up the earned runs a little bit. Like he gave up 4 earned runs, but he still got it. So hey, cool. Walks, hits. I got to take this. This is the play I'm taking. We always take strikeouts against Colorado. If you can get strikeouts, the weather is concerning. I know. Someone's going to say, "What about the weather?" I know. So there you go. There's your plays. Look at the bats. And the bats are doing what? Nathaniel Lowe in Colorado? With the weather being cold, wind blowing in? No, not today. Not today, good sir. This is a business trip for Washington. We're going Gore over 6 point. Nope. It's 5.5. Oh, hits allowed. I was like, what? 6.5 strikeouts. Yeah, that makes sense for him. It's been 5.5 the last few times. I'll take 6.5 against Colorado all day. Thank you. Let's move on to the next game. Last game, San Fran and LA. You can't see it. Now you can. It is San Fran 154 on the road with an 8 total. Let's look at, let's just go and look at the schedule. Got it pulled up. We got Logan Webb versus Mr. Anderson. So let's pop to the spreadsheet, and then we can look at weather real quick on the way out. So spreadsheet wise, Angels have cooled off tremendously with their bats. You can see it just keeps getting worse every day. They are getting 7.3 runs per game at home, but only wow, that's a lot of, man, they are crushing it at home. Wow. Okay. They're second overall, pretty consistent numbers. That's how you're supposed to be, not just popping off randomly. Doubles, you can see all the numbers there. Nothing really stands out. Let's go to the weather, like I said we would. And we see it's blowing out slightly, 5 miles an hour, 59 degrees, not the biggest deal. So props, pitchers. Anderson versus San Fran. History. We can see 167, 167, 389 and 18 for Flores, and a bunch of nothing else. Against lefties. Last season, San Fran loved them some lefties. This season, 1-1-0, 3-3, 1-2, 1-0, 450. So Lee loves lefties. He's been doing pretty good. Fitzgerald and Chapman love lefties, and everybody else does not. Interesting. We swap sides. Angels versus righties. Again, we got a 295 for Hop. And then we got a 304 for Shonel and 316 for Soler, and that's it. Everybody else is kind of just below that. We go against Logan Webb history. We got some green, but nothing standing out. So I don't really know which side I would want to take bat-wise. I do know that Anderson likes to walk dudes. I just see this here, like, whoa, that's a lot of walks. Why? That's a lot of walks, my guy. San Fran, how are you on walks, good team? You're 6th in the league at walks. Interesting. Now you're going up against somebody who likes to walk a lot. So a very disciplined team going against Mr. Anderson. I found my winner already. We're taking this. It's under 200. I'm cool with it. We'll see if we find anything else, though. Anything else we want to play? Earn runs, outs, no. Logan, earn runs, strikeouts, hits, walks, outs, no. Bats, could be some bats. Yeah, we could be Nolan, Taylor, Nolan. It's the usual suspects. Fitzgerald, cool. I think I'm going to rock with the Anderson walks. It just looks too good to me, especially against a team like San Fran, who is 6 in walks. They're averaging basically 4 walks a game over 1 point. Let's see. We got to put name. Anderson, T. Anderson. Just there's no confusion. Anderson over 1.5 BB walks. So we'll take that, and then we'll end it there. But then I said we're probably going to do a money line parlay, so we do need to go back and look at the actual, let's do it this way, do a spreadsheet. Let's start at the top. Cubs, Zona, not a damn clue. Over 1,000 runs. That's all I care about in that game. Detroit, Kansas City. I lean Detroit because they actually have a little bit of offense, but I do lean them. KC's kind of, and then Joe's going out there. That's impressive. Joe's looked pretty good, but then Reagan's looks good too, so I can't. Pittsburgh and Cleveland, that is a not for me, dog. Not a chance. Philadelphia and Miami. I don't trust Miami. I know the numbers look good. I just don't trust them. I just can't. No. I already got Edwards, and that's about all I want to touch in that game. Baltimore, Cincy. I lean Baltimore. I lean it, but I did take Friedel over here on the prop for Cincy, so nothing in that one. Tampa, Yankees, not a chance I'm touching this one. Toronto, Seattle, nope, nothing on that one. Mets, Lewis, I'm taking the Mets. I've already said I was. Mets will also obviously be in that, is one of the teams. Boston, I don't trust Boston. Like I said, Kool-Aid man, too much red, can't do that. I did like Atlanta. I am putting Atlanta in there. It is on my list already. So Atlanta had decent numbers. The Twins on the road are not the best. So they're batting 301 at home. They're 121. Yeah, give me Atlanta at home. Texas and the Doyers, not a chance. Not touching that game. That's too good of a game. Houston, San Diego. I'm taking San Diego. We're fading the how Houston is versus lefties. We already said this. Milwaukee and the A's. I want to take Oakland. I said Oakland. I want to take Sacramento. I'm calling them Sacramento. I don't care. That's where they're playing. They're in Sacramento. So, the A's. Do I want to put them in there? We'll see. Colorado versus Washington. They're going to win a game eventually. But man, the weather's weird today. They're not the it's almost like you got to go Washington, right? It got to be. And then we got Angels, San Fran. Nah, I'm not touching any of that. I got Anderson for walks. That's about all I want to do. So if I go back up, New York, San Diego, Atlanta for sure. Do we add the Athletics for the 4th time in a row? And do we add Washington? I think we do. I think we're going to add those two. So what's that Washington, WSHS, and then let's go. We'll add the A's as well because I am a huge fan of the new improved Sacramento A's. I don't know why. I just am. Who are they playing? Who are they? Damn, I just lost who they're playing. Bullshit. Where'd they go? Milwaukee? Yeah, it's Milwaukee. Milwaukee at home is a little rough though. That's why I'm a little concerned. I might take them off. Let's take the A's off. Let's take the A's off. I'm pulling. I'm leaving them off. I got the over 8 already, but I also lean the A's money line. But all right, parlay is going to be Mets, Padres, Braves, and Washington. That'll be the ones I take. So that'll be it. Let's go to the schedule. Tomorrow is Saturday. We have everyone playing again. We actually got some games on TV. Good stuff. I appreciate being here. Go check out the HQ if you want the plays typed out or access to the spreadsheet so you can do your own research for every sport. Outside of that, let me know what you're playing in the comments. Let me know what you've been playing. What you play yesterday? How did you do yesterday? Because you saw I did. How did you do? So let me know. We'll talk tomorrow on Saturday about some more baseball, and I'll see you then. Peace.